Welcome back. It is a tradition around here. Every week before Easter, every year, a good friend comes to visit, my rabbit, Ricochet Rabbit, and he comes to talk about why rabbits do not make good Easter gifts, and that's why he comes on a week before Easter, just to talk people out of the idea of maybe suddenly at the last minute getting a rabbit.
Okay, well, I'm very excited to have Ricochet joining us. He's the guest star.
He's been on here for many years. In fact, we were trying to remember just how many times he's been on this broadcast, and I'm thinking it's at least 10, maybe longer.
Superstar.
Yeah, he's about 14 years old.
Okay.
You know, his story is an exact example why you don't want to get a rabbit for Easter, because he was an Easter bunny, most likely, because about a month or two after Easter, he was found wandering around a neighborhood, and one of the security guards here at the station, their wife was brave enough to catch him. I don't know how they possibly caught this rabbit running around a neighborhood, because he's very precocious. But again, a lot of bunnies are given as gifts for Easter, and then maybe about a month later, people get tired of them, or they find out that they're a lot of work, and then they think that a domestic rabbit, unlike a wild rabbit, can just be released into the environment and they'll do just fine. Domestic rabbits have very different food requirements than a wild bunny. They don't do well. They don't have the instincts to get away from predators that maybe a wild rabbit has. So often it's a very sad ending for a bunny that was given as an Easter gift. And Ricochet is a success story. He found a home, but most bunnies who are given as Easter gifts do not find a home, because one of the things people don't realize is that rabbits have to be spayed or neutered, or they can become aggressive.
Okay.
So
we certainly don't want domesticated rabbits roaming out in the wild. What kind of food requirements did they have that are different?
Well, the ones that are out in the wild are usually not nearly as healthy, and then they're often picked off by predators. But they need hay. Which you can't find just anywhere. They need hay and they need other things because they're just different. They've been bred to be with people. So a lot of those bunnies have, as I said, a very sad ending, or they'll end up at a shelter, and that's a lot of work. And they'll also find out, a typical story will be, because I remember you were saying you wanted a bunny as a child.
Yeah, they're so cute. I mean, you look at Ricochet and you can't help but want one. This might have the opposite of the intended effect.
Yes, they're great pets for the right person. For a child, what usually happens is they find out, one, the bunny's a lot of work. Two, they don't get the bunny fixed, and eventually the bunny will bite the child, and then the child is scared of the rabbit after that. And that's when often someone will just let the rabbit go because they don't want the child to be bitten by a rabbit, because that's a very unpleasant. But again, a spayed or neutered rabbit, a great pet for someone who lives maybe in an apartment, someplace where you need a quiet animal. And they actually have a lot of personality. Ricochet is just sort of hanging out here today because he's not, he only goes on TV once a year. The lights and the cameras are a bit of a distraction for him. But again, he is very cuddly. He has a lot of personality. Each rabbit is different. Like if you're gonna have if you're an adult and you're gonna have a pet rabbit, there's a difference between rabbits that have ears that go up, or the lop bunnies. Lop rabbits tend to be a lot more docile and calm.
Okay, so Ricochet, you said he's about 14. So rabbits, if you get a rabbit, it's not like you're in it for a couple of years.
No, rabbits are a long-term commitment. That's another thing, is that a child will grow up and then they got other things to do a few years later, and suddenly this bunny is just left alone in maybe a hutch or a container by themselves. And rabbits are very social animals. They like to be either with somebody or another rabbit, and if they just sit alone, they become very depressed. It's just a very cruel life for a bunny to just be by themselves all the time. Ricochet, as you can see, as you mentioned, he's older. Now, he's one of the longer-lived bunnies.
Okay.
Because they live to maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. That's a long commitment. Living up to 14 years like he is. I think he's about 14. I'm trying to remember exactly when I got him. He's been around forever, but he is more long-lived. I think it might be because he's kind of a Heinz 57. He's all kinds of different breeds. There you go. I'm going to turn it where they can.
Okay. More fun question here. What's your favorite part of having Ricochet?
I think one of the things about, and I've said this before, about having a difference in a cat or a dog is because a rabbit is a prey animal as opposed to a predator animal. So if a prey animal bonds with you, it's a bigger level of, I would say, commitment. I know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it just feels more special when an animal that is, every bit of their DNA says to be afraid of you, actually wants to be with you. They hop up next to you, watch TV with you, follow you around the house sometimes. And in case you're wondering, what, a rabbit running around the house? Some rabbits, most rabbits, domestic rabbits, actually like using a litter box.
Oh.
Because they enjoy being in one spot for that. And they also, but you got to be careful, lamp cords. Ricochet loves to chew lamp cords. You got to protect those.
Okay, very interesting. The more you know about bunnies.
Yeah, so Easter bunnies, again, not a good gift, but this is his yearly coming on the air to warn folks. And Ricochet says hi, and he hopes to see you for many more years.
No bunny unless it's in the chocolate variety.
Yeah, get the chocolate. That's what the campaign says. Make mine chocolate.
There you go.
We'll be right back.